want it. I'm gonna record.
Okay. Okay, 11B, zoning ordinance, process.
I found a document that was created by Kim back in June of 2022, and it was a document that was to be used by anyone in the township, any of the groups that participate in creating or requesting or updating or approving a workflow. So when a request comes within Whitewater Township to review a zoning ordinance, that someone has this document, and I think Kim's intent was there's an owner to it, although she doesn't say who it is, but then it goes through the process of review in all of the key groups that might be affected by that ordinance change or a new one or whatever. I think it's maybe a little early to jump into that, but it is something we need so badly. I was listening to Bob talk about non-conforming issues. We don't know where to go necessarily to find the right information, or where do you start now that you have your concerns, and who's going to walk that through the process?
I'm going to jump in here real quick. Again, I don't believe in reinvention of the wheel. Michigan State University Extension has done an awesome job of putting together checklists. They have a checklist as number 4H. It puts together in chronological order the zoning amendment process. It has everything that's applicable to a township, a city, a village, a county. It puts it in chronological order together with the statutory recitations. If you use it as a checklist, you cannot go wrong.
The model that she used is the Township Guide to Planning and Zoning, published by the MTA, revised January 2012. So that's the one you're referring to.
No.
You're
That one is fine.
Okay.
But,
What one are you?
this is Michigan State University Extension checklist 4H. It's for the zoning amendment process and some planned unit developments in the state of Michigan.
Okay, all right.
Puts it in chronological order. Tells you, you know, are you a city, are you a township, are you a village, are you a county? If this is done and you are not, just go to this step. I mean, it is step by step.
Okay.
A to Z.
All right.
Great for your standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
Material.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I will research that and compare what Kim had.
Let me just add to one thing that I think is probably not in the Michigan State stuff, and that is exactly what this township board wants to see as far as documents. In terms of, do they want to see a redlined version? Do they want to see the attorney? What exactly do they want to see? Some of the work products that the planning commission looked at in coming up with the amendments. So there's some nuances to that we need to address, and I think that might involve some conversations with the town board.
Okay.
Exactly I mean, there's a lot of material that could be forwarded to them before they make their decision.
So really other touch points.
Well,
Might be.
Exactly. I mean, I would ask them to identify specifically, because this last go around, there were some issues about, I don't know what this is, or something like that. So if we had something from them that says, we want to see the existing ordinance, we want to see the draft, we want to see red line, we want to see clean copy. What is it you want to see in order? If you want to see all of it, that's fine. We can just give you all of it. But some of the nuances there can be helpful.
The next meeting agenda, Rachel was going to, I was going to get with Rachel, and she said should get that set up for me. So for the next meeting.
We've got
We've got quite a few things.
some items that we want
Yeah,
her to know about.
yeah, and I wrote them down, and I actually think Rachel, she was gonna try to listen if she's feeling okay. That's
She couldn't.
okay.
That was the problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody
Oh,
can listen.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Well, we have the audio,
Yeah,
so everybody will be able to get a copy of the audio.
okay. And public, okay, public comment?
Can I do a public comment?
Yeah.
Rachel's on now. Rachel, can you hear us? She's just getting on.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. I'm not gonna do public comment, I'm fine.
Okay.
Rachel, any public comment?
No, I just signed on, so I didn't get to hear anything.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's no public comment. And,
Are we over our time or?
Yeah,
yeah,
but we're winding it down real quick right now.
yeah. Is there something that? You know, go right ahead if you've got.
Just wanted to talk about what we discussed earlier about possibly moving the date.
Oh, okay, sure, let's do that.
So one of the concerns was is if we have our meeting so close to the board meeting that we can't meet the 10 days deadline, and then it's pushed off to the next month. So the thought is if we had our meeting after their meeting, that would give us time to prepare and get it to them in time, and then we'd be able to respond to that right away after their meeting again. We discussed it a little bit about, well, it really doesn't make much difference in timing, but I thought about it a little bit longer, and it does, because it does give us the opportunity to respond to that quickly. So if we decide something like we're talking about here, we present it to the board. We have plenty of time to do that, get it ready, present it to the board. They okay it or not okay it. Then we have a meeting right after that again, which we can discuss and decide what we're going to go from there. It's a very quick flow, I think, rather than as we're in now, we can't present what we're talking about to the board because it doesn't meet the 10-day window. So we're off to the next month in May.
Mhm.
And then once again, they're going to meet and we're not going to meet for another month again. So
What would be a
There's the
good
thought.
date to, if we agreed to change the meeting date, what would be a good date that would?
It would have to be, would have to be more than 10 days. It'd have to be 11 or 12 days after their meeting, correct?
no, it could be right after their meeting.
The day
What,
after.
if they are sending information back to us, do they need time to get it on our agenda?
Workflow is the other way around.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, so I'm asking.
But like for instance, the township meeting is
11.
Ours is the 3rd next month and theirs is the 9th, right? So within that time, we don't have time to, where if we move the 3rd to the 17th, which is a week after their meeting, then that gives us 3 weeks to prepare to present to them. And then once they make their decision, we have their decision at their very next meeting.
Or if you wanted to do one, let's say you started it in April, do an additional meeting. Just as an example, get you started so it's working into.
Right.
the
I
May.
wasn't sure if we could have an extra meeting. So that's what I'm suggesting. Heidi had suggested to me. I looked at it, and it does make sense. I think we should consider that, and I like the idea of actually, if it's okay, if we can do that again in April.
To get us on schedule if we decide.
That means we have one
Yeah.
more meeting that we can, this committee can present to the board, our board. And then have enough time to present to the board in May.
do we have, would it be like the third Wednesday of the month, or what would we be looking at?
What's, so there's the, it's,
Third Wednesday this month is the 19th.
Okay. If we wanted to change it though, would that fit the time frame?
that is the next week after their meeting, so that would work, yes.
Is the third Wednesday of every month available, the building available?
Now, would we need though, wouldn't we need a meeting this month to get the schedule on? Because we meet monthly, and if we waited till the third Wednesday, we'd need another meeting in April, won't we?
Yes.
If we did another meeting in April, that'd get us.
It gets right on
track.
schedule, yeah. Well, I'm game for that if you guys are.
Well, that would, if we do it on the third week, that would give us a chance to bounce
Yes.
some of our discussion off of the rest of you. And make sure that, you know, we're
we're
going
meeting on
after the
13th,
right
right?
issues, yeah.
I would-
Any chance you want to take a message from Rachel?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have your hand up, Rachel?
I did. I don't know. Sorry. It works for me. That sounds like a good plan.
Okay, well,
Okay,
does anybody have any issues with it?
Is this the 19th?
19th.
19th.
Okay, I'm out of town that day. But that's,
If you're talking the 19th of this month, I will not be here. I'll
Okay.
be home celebrating my.
Okay.
good for you.
But that would be okay, because we can
That's
still,
okay.
well, we've got to get done.
Guys would have to be here.
Well, I would like to make a motion that we do that then, that we change our dates to the third Wednesday of the month. And start by this April 19th, which would give us a second meeting this
Yep.
month.
From 7 to 9 and, okay,
So that means another packet going out though.
All right, do we have time to put it back
Uh-huh.
together?
We do,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay,
I'll second that.
okay.
Is that okay with Rachel who puts the packet together?
Yes,
Are you changing all your meetings going forward? too?
Yes,
Because we'll need to post the special meeting.
Yep.
And then change.
Notice.
Both
Yeah.
special meetings and then
yeah,
then all the other-
meeting
Yeah,
dates.
So that's the third Wednesday now from.
yes. That's great. I think it's gonna really work.
yes. Yep, is that okay, Carl? Do you have any problem with that? We can do that. We can do that, Carl.
Just make a choice what you want to do.
Dr. Melnick is available.
What's more fun, our root canal or planning commission?
Thank you. I think that's gonna help us out a lot.
Okay. Should roll call?
And we'll do a roll. call.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, Oh, geez. Here. Robel. Jacobson,
Yes.
Velmuth not available, Keaton,
Yes.
Rebant,
Yes,
DeYoung,
Yes,
Steelman is not available.
Oh, is there anything else? Oh, Carl?
Regarding education.
Okay,
Mentioned course and the zoning board of appeals. Pretty much the same as in there, there's 6 chapters and sections and finished out of them. There's in one of the sections in there that very brief shows all these chart sheets.
Mhm.
They're all in there.
Mhm.
That is stuff that are very, very expensive. I think we covered everything. And I've written in that everybody, there's some of them. Mine, I would say each one of those sessions takes me about 2 hours. And it's very similar if you've read the book you got, the CPA. Very similar, but reinforces some of the things. And those $75 introductory rate. Later, but yeah, which so reinforcements things you've seen in that book, and those are a little some additional detail, but it's got those charts. And there's certain inner things that require reading. Falling asleep.
Yeah, I've seen them in the, yeah, Citizen Planner does have a lot of those charts that they refer you to. Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have to invent our own. Thank God.
Who notifies the clerk and everybody about the new meetings?
I can do that. I'm typing it in here right now.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else?
Randy, could you, I didn't get that all written down about, where that law is written, that we are, that we are allowed to write our own rules without.
On the bylaws. Hold on just a second.
125.38, but I don't even know what it was out of. I wrote the numbers down.
Michigan Planning and Enabling Act,
Okay,
A 30 of 2008.
125 what?
Hold on just a second.
Doc, whatever four numbers he gives you in just a second.
125.3818. 18,
Yeah, 3818.
right. Michigan Planning Enabling Act of 2008. You just search that title, it'll come up.
Thank you.
Under continuing education, I also had provided to Rachel the link to something called Planetizen courses.
Yes.
There's some material that I attached or gave to her to put in the packet, which appeared. This is a organization that's been around for quite a few years. They operate a lot of planning news around the country. They have 3 levels of training. One is for just courses, another one is for AICP planning course and continuing education. And then I also have a planning commissioners training. So it's really inexpensive. It's like $25 a month. And you can take the classes that you want on that. I would encourage you to take a look at that and see what you might be interested in. You might want to stay away from the professional stuff because it's a little bit esoteric. I mean, in terms of details, and you want to learn about fair housing issues in Portland, Oregon, you could find out, stuff like that. But there's a lot of good information there for planning commission members. And you could just sit down and take those classes. And like I said, I think it's $20. I normally do it once a year to keep my continuing education stuff up. Because as a member of the American Institute of Certified Planners, I need to have so many hours of continuing education in order to keep that certification. But anyway, just for your information.
Those booklets that we go through, that they've given us to read, and we go through those. Should we be recording those somewhere, Lois, as training, or like those 2 that Cheryl just give us?
that's not training.
That's not training. Okay.
That's reference material for you.
Okay, okay. Okay, is there anything else?
Do you want to run through a meeting synopsis?
A meeting synopsis?
That's the last thing on your.
Yes. Well, what we've done is we have to come up at the end of the year, from what I understand, with what did you do last year? Well, nobody, whoever wants it doesn't want to see 12 piles of minutes because they're not going to go through them. So they wanted it like a synopsis. So we thought at the end of each minute, just take a couple of minutes and what did we accomplish at this meeting? And so one thing we did, I guess, was our budget. We're going to find out what control we do or don't have with our budget. We're going to research our bylaws to make sure that we're in compliance with 25/38/18. And we're going to check to see if we can figure out a way to have Randy get those that back into a Word document that's usable and editable. And
Formed a new committee.
formed a
Me to do all that.
I formed a committee to check into that.
We approved
Approve the bylaws. Well, we did that.
no,
last time.
approved the horse vet
Classic.
Yeah,
Yep.
licensing.
yep.
Extension.
Yeah, approve the extension of classic equine's special use permit.
Well, the other thing is we had the problem with the Zoom connection
Yes.
with that on there.
And so what we thought, Bob, I kind of thought like you did too, wasn't that the minutes, but if one of us has to wind up preparing the end of the year report, I know I'm not going to read through 12 months worth of minutes. So we thought if we had just a couple minute synopsis at the end of the meeting, this is what we accomplished, and you could just put those quickly together.
That synopsis in your annual report right now. You did it.
Oh.
February, you did it.
Start one right now.
And when December meeting is over, you are done with your annual report, with the exception of whatever information I.
That's a good idea. Mhm. Mhm.
Copy paste.
Yep, that's a good idea.
And again, an annual report, according to the planning act, again, isn't so much a synopsis of what you've done, is what you've done, where you're at, what your work plan is for the next fiscal year,
Mhm.
to help your legislative body, help you establish a budget moving forward.
Yeah, we thought that would make this a lot easier if you just had, just look at a copy paragraph of each one. And yes, and we all agreed on it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
9:23.
We join at 8:23. I think it is.
9:23, but yeah.
Probably the first meeting that I've actually seen the planning commission coalesce